Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm going to break down Adam Schefter's latest report on Rashee Rice's injury. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, if you guys have stayed up to date with all of the reporting that I've done on Rashee Rice's injury, you would know that he is going in to see a specialist in Dallas on Monday to have a knee procedure done, more than likely a scope on his right knee, to find the severity of the injury. The Chiefs have been pretty quiet, but yet optimistic that Rashee Rice could come back at some point this season. I've seen timelines that put him anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to 4 to 5 weeks. The Chiefs put Rashee Rice on IR, short-term IR, so he only is going to miss 4 games, as of right now. But I think that we all understand that he is going to miss probably a little bit more time than that. But the report that I wanted to read off from Adam Schefter says that the Chiefs are waiting for clarity on Rashee Rice's injury before they eye a trade for a wide receiver. And while I think it is good that the Chiefs are being optimistic and waiting for an official diagnosis, if the Chiefs offense wants to see success not only in the short-term future, but the long-term future, they need to go out right now and make a trade for a wide receiver. I think that regardless of, Rice's diagnosis, the Chiefs need a wide receiver and they need it urgently. So I don't really understand why they're, waiting for that diagnosis to make a big-time trade. I think that with or without Rashee Rice, you're going to need some more talent in this wide receiver room. And so that, brings up the options. Who could the Chiefs potentially trade for? We've talked about Amari Cooper. We've talked about Devontae Adams. We've talked about DeAndre Hopkins. A lot of these guys make sense. Maybe not the last two, but I think that Amari Cooper could be a guy that with or without Rashee Rice, you go out and trade for. It makes a ton of sense. He would only cost, I think, $605,000 against the salary cap. He's a guy that, has a lot of upside as a veteran wide receiver who you could make this trade and he could be your number one wide receiver right away. And for this Chiefs offense that is struggling, you need to go out and make these type of moves. So again, while I'm excited that we have some, optimism in the Rashee Rice injury, I think that whether or not he is, cleared to come back this season shouldn't impact what the Chiefs do at wide receiver. Because let's be realistic. He comes back from this right knee injury, and it's probably going to take him a while before he's the Rashee Rice that we saw in the first 3 weeks of the season. Being realistic, the Chiefs need to find somebody that can take the load off of Rashee Rice even when he does come back. Because it is going to take him weeks, if not months, to get back to being the same explosive, speedy wide receiver that we all think that he can be. And so that's why I think that Brett Veach has got to get on the phone today and go out and trade for a wide receiver. Again, Amari Cooper is a great option. I think it's the most realistic option. But even then, you got guys like DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears or potentially Deontay Johnson from the Carolina Panthers. I think that Johnson could be a target that really makes sense because the Panthers suck. But I think that, again, if the Chiefs are serious about three-peating, they need to bring in another wide receiver, maybe a couple wide receivers if, Rashee Rice is ruled out for the year. I think the expectation is that he will be back at some point. I think that, the analysts and the sources that Adam Schefter has talked to, they feel pretty good about, his odds of returning. But again, we need to go out and get some more stability for this room. And I think that Deontay Johnson or Amari Cooper would be the best fit for this offense. Now, both guys do have some issues with drops in the past. But listen, I think that, put them in a new offense, put them with Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy. Maybe they're able to correct some of those things with Patrick Mahomes throwing them the football. And listen, at this point in the season, I know the Chiefs are 4-0, but they can't really afford to be choosers. Like they're beggars right now, and they need to go out and find somebody to give this offense a spark, give them some production, and I think that has to be the case with or without Rashee Rice. Now, his status could mean the difference in getting 1 or 2 wide receivers before the trade deadline. But let's be real, guys. This Chiefs wide receiver room needs somebody else. You cannot have Juju Smith-Schuster be your number 1 or number 2 wide receiver in 2024. It's just not going to work. You have to go get somebody that can at least take some of the load off of Travis Kelce, because we've seen it. He just can't do what Travis Kelce could do 5 years ago. And it's just because he's getting older. He just had, a birthday a couple days ago. And if the Chiefs want to get back to the Super Bowl and win that thing, they have got to go trade for another wide receiver because of the status of Rashee Rice being so questionable. I think that a lot of people are hopeful that Rice comes back this year. And while I think that he can and probably will, it's going to be a long time. And listen, knee injuries, leg injuries are no joke. Like, this is something that could legitimately sideline him for a long time. And so the Chiefs need to be smart, and I know they're optimistic, but let's be real here. Let's just look at the situation as is, and I would assume that this Chiefs front office is operating under the belief that whatever we get from Rice is a bonus, but we have to go out and figure this out. Because right now, we're 4-0, but without Rashee Rice, who knows what the future of this offense looks like, and who knows if they're even a good unit. He was kind of the straw that stirred the drink of the Chiefs offense, and they don't have that guy right now, and they're not going to have him for quite some time. So again, this video is talking about the report of Adam Schefter saying that the Chiefs are awaiting clarity on Rashee Rice's injury and eyeing trades for a wide receiver. I think there's a lot of guys that make sense. One thing that is worth talking about is the Chiefs have made a trade for a wide receiver the past 2 trade deadlines. They got Mecole Hardman a couple years ago, Mecole Hardman last year from the Jets, and then Kadarius Toney from the Giants a couple years ago. Now, both of those guys have been up in the air, so to speak, but the Chiefs weren't under the same pressure to find an impact player at wide receiver like they are this year. There is real pressure on Brett Veach in this front office to make a trade for a difference maker. And I think that with that pressure being understood and known, they can better go out and trade for that guy. Now, it might be somebody that Chiefs fans don't love, but it might be somebody that is a bargain bin wide receiver that can just make this offense a little bit better, kind of biding their time until Rice does come back. I think it's a risky strategy, but listen, I'm not going to question Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs. They've won back-to-back Super Bowls, and clearly they know a little bit more than I do. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. What do you think of this Rashee Rice news with the upcoming medical procedure this week? And we're going to find out the status of his injury long term in the next week, probably Monday or Tuesday. Do you think the Chiefs need to go out and trade for a wide receiver? And if so, which option do you like the most? Again, I think that Amari Cooper and Deontay Johnson probably make the most sense. I wouldn't hate a DeAndre Hopkins trade. I think that he could, elevate this offense, in ways that not many wide receivers could. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Again, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, the Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway. On October 27th, the casino is doing a live watch party for the Kansas City Chiefs game against the Las Vegas Raiders. That game is going to be on the road, and I'm going to be there doing a live watch party live stream. So come on by the casino. Check out, all of the stuff they've got going on. You could actually enter for a chance to win $5,000 in Penn bonus play cash. So click the link in my description to sign up, but also come out to the live stream, come out to the watch party, say what's up, and enjoy as the Kansas City Chiefs probably smack the Raiders in places that they've been hit a lot in the past by the Chiefs. So I look forward to seeing you guys out there. Until next time, guys, that is all I have. Thank you guys for watching this video, and go Chiefs.